Beloved chosen one, welcome unstoppable souls. You stand here not by mere chance, but by divine destiny, and nothing can dim the radiant light destined to shine through you. While others may attempt to bring you down, karma is quietly crafting a beautiful tapestry that will showcase your truth more brilliantly than ever. This journey is about more than just retribution. It's a powerful revelation of your strength, resilience, and steadfast spirit. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and remember, the universe stands with you, poised to flip the script and reveal your true essence to the world. Prepare yourself to witness the extraordinary moment when darkness dissipates and your greatness takes the spotlight. This is your time. Your story is set to inspire, empower, and silence each and every doubt. Let's embark on this journey. For what lies ahead is nothing short of legendary. Seeking purpose and tranquility, hit the button to join God's chosen one and commence your journey. They watched and whispered as misfortune enveloped someone like a storm, prematurely believing it marked an end. Murmurs morphed into tales, and tales into casual ridicule, tossed about like harmless jests. Yet while they indulged in smug expressions and hollow gossip, something unseen stirred beneath the surface. What seemed like failure was an inconspicuous recalibration, a subtle shifting of the ground. The collapse they rejoiced over was not a conclusion, but the quiet opening of an uncharted map. What they mistook for destruction was simply the necessary unraveling before reconstruction began. Those who take comfort in the stumbles of others often mistake discomfort for defeat. Yet real transformation doesn't announce itself with fireworks. It takes root in obscurity. As onlookers grow complacent in their misjudgments, the moment comes when that same storm lifts, and from the rubble rises a form unrecognizable to those who once mocked it. The astonishment does not lie solely in the recovery, but in the profound absence of revenge. The transformation speaks volumes. There's no intention to point fingers or reciprocate the ridicule. Evolution, witnessed by those who denied it, is far more deafening than any insults they hurled. Just like that, what they once perceived as an end transforms into irrefutable evidence that nothing truly concludes when growth is already underway. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a beacon of light in someone else's shadow. Some might believe consequences arrive gently or on cue, but truth often tells a starkly different story. Retribution rarely sends out warnings or waits for an invitation. It bursts through unannounced, equipped with undeniable proof. Those who inflict harm presume their deeds remain hidden, tucked away beneath layers of deceit and pretensions. They continue their lives as though the past doesn't exist, scheming and smiling through the cracks they create. Yet, what they overlook is that time itself is an archivist, meticulously preserving every betrayal, every whisper of dishonesty, and every carefully crafted facade. Eventually, a moment arises when those concealed truths are brought to light, not behind closed doors, but right in the spotlight. The very audience once deceived by falsehoods becomes witnesses to the revelation. Instead of loud vengeance, what unfolds is a quiet disassembly of carefully constructed lies. The facade fractures, revealing a reality they thought was hidden. This isn't merely a tale of personal vendettas or desperate attempts to expose wrongdoing. It's the natural course of truth asserting itself. When these moments arise, there's no need for elaborate defenses or protests. The facts carry the weight of undeniable clarity. At that critical time, confusion supplants confidence, as those who once thrived on deception find themselves ensnared in their own traps. The outcome goes beyond justice served. It is a spectacle crafted from their own errors, an unintentional drama penned by their missteps. Ironically, they become the authors of their undoing, providing the materials for a performance they never intended to stage. When your heart is filled with God's love, it offers an invitation to give. By tapping the Super Thank You button and contributing $100 or more, you become a vessel of His grace. Your generosity holds the power to change lives, reaching hearts you may never encounter. You possess a divine purpose, and this act of faith carries His light forward. Give now, and may His blessings surround you always. Some think tarnishing your name signifies the end of your story, that your essence can be wiped away like an old record erased from existence. They treat your reputation as though it's a flimsy document they can easily discard. Yet, what they fail to understand is that your foundation is not built upon fleeting opinions or temporary judgments. There is a deeper force safeguarding your journey, an unseen guardian preserving every fragment of your path, patiently awaiting reveal. While they believe you've faded into oblivion, preparations for your resurgence are quietly underway on a plane they never anticipated. Their attempts to silence you are like casting stones at a mountain. No cracks form, only echoes of their futility. The falsehoods they scatter might obscure vision momentarily, yet the essence of your truth stands untarnished, waiting for its moment to shine brighter than any shadows they cast. That moment has arrived. You not only endure, you ascend to heights that unsettle those who once doubted. The sting they experience is amplified by your grace. There's no need for schemes, desperate pleas, or bitterness. Instead, you grow and mend beneath the surface, rising without a sound. Their efforts to dismantle you inadvertently underscore your strength. The irony is undoubtedly clear. Their campaign to obliterate you transforms into a spotlight, illuminating their own vulnerabilities. The essence behind their fierce attacks is not a reflection of your actions, but of the power you inherently carry, a potential that intimidates them even before it's fully realized. Destiny does not wait for their approval. It unfolds in perfect harmony. Now, aligned with this rhythm, you embrace the undeniable truth that timing and purpose outstrip every attempt at suppression. This resurgence is not merely a restoration. It is a proclamation that nothing they endeavored to seize was ever truly theirs to take. They thrive on being the center of attention, perpetually seeking validation through the misfortunes of others, using your struggles as a canvas for their elaborate performances, inviting audiences to witness their version of events, oblivious to the fact that they are constructing their own undoing, mistaking noise for truth and applause for justice. Their narrative rests on whispers and secrets, designed to position themselves as heroes while casting you as the villain. For a time, this illusion seems effective, but an astute audience eventually detects the dissonance lurking beneath the surface. The stage they built to highlight your flaws becomes a trap, revealing their own fragility. As the spotlight shifts, their carefully curated performance begins to crumble, exposing the fissures they sought to conceal. Silence and steady resilience become your cherished allies, starkly contrasting their unraveling facade. The very attention they desperately craved morphs into a mirror reflecting every hidden flaw, ultimately revealing their true selves to all with unblinking eyes. For years, they have plotted meticulously, weaving intricate webs of doubt and falsehood, all while maintaining a facade of innocence. However, their schemes are driven not by intellect, but by a fragile ego desperate for control and admiration. Mistaking shrewdness for strength, they orchestrate your downfall as if life were a scripted drama. Yet, in the final act, truth is laid bare, devoid of props or curtains, revealing raw authenticity. The audience begins to discern the inconsistencies and sense the dissonance in their tale. Karma does not unfold in secrecy. It operates openly, allowing their facade to collapse under the weight of their own making. Their frantic need for manipulation blinds them to the increasing awareness surrounding them, causing them to falter and overexpose themselves through excessive words and misplaced emotions. They mistakenly believe they can command your fate, ignoring the higher forces directing your journey. This miscalculation seals their fate, as their arrogance leads to stumbling before those who once applauded their charade. Thinking themselves invincible, they circle endlessly in pride, oblivious until karma intervenes, shattering their masks in bold relief for all to see. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a beacon of light in someone else's darkness. Their vision never accommodates the moment when consequences catch up to them, when the weight of their actions settles heavily upon their chest. To them, you remain but a shadow, forgotten and defeated beneath their feet. They hold to the belief that their narrative has buried you deep, a secret concealed beneath layers of dust and silence. The thought of remorse never crosses their minds. Pride and denial have sealed that door. Yet as you rise steadily, luminous and undaunted, the silence they crafted becomes a chokehold. It's not a lack of words, but rather an inability to articulate that ensnares them. The burden of guilt lodges inside, immovable and raw. Instead of extinguishing your spirit, their cruelty has sown the seed of growth now flourishing within you. Your blossoming reflects back on them like an unwavering mirror, each smile and success reminding them of their failures and unspoken debts. Their pride prevents them from offering the apology they cannot utter, yet their gestures betray the turmoil beneath. Hollow greetings, awkward silences when you enter, forced civility devoid of authentic warmth. This isn't peace. It's merely a facade that can't last against the power of truth. The pressure of karma closes in, compelling them to confront the weight of every deception, every act of treachery, every moment they manipulated others against you. No scripted exit is left. Their remorse arises not from newfound understanding, but from the radiance of your spirit that reveals the darkness they sought to conceal. They cringe not at your retribution, but at your unwavering essence. You heal without harboring resentment and ascend with relentless truth, leaving their guilt suspended in an unbearable silence. That silence is the voice of karma, subtle, persistent, and unmistakably true. No apology is needed. Life has bestowed upon you something far more valuable. The true punishment for them lies in facing you while their transgressions remain unspoken, a reckoning they never anticipated. When your heart is filled with God's love, it's a call to give by embracing God's chosen one, allowing your generosity of $100 or more to become a vessel of His grace. Your kindness can transform lives, touching hearts you may never encounter. You carry a divine purpose, and this act of faith spreads His light onward. Give now, and may His blessings surround you always. Every scheme to disrupt your serenity fails time and again. They push your buttons, disseminate lies, and weave mental snares in hopes of finding cracks in your armor. Their aim is to provoke a reaction that validates their twisted tales. But instead, you respond with tranquility, restoration, and quiet growth. This tranquility methodically eats away at them. It is not passive surrender, but a fierce resilience that weathers tempests without becoming bitter. They assumed you would break. They counted on your downfall. But you walk away from their chaos with grace, never glancing back. There is no thirst for vengeance, no anger, only evolution. Each time they witness your composed demeanor, it stings deeply, for it confronts them with the reality of their own choices. They anticipate a dramatic reckoning, a seismic justice to set matters right. Yet karma unfolds like a slow burning ember. Your life reflects this steady flame, proof that their tactics are empty and that peace prevails over turmoil. Time after time, while they may project laughter, they remain restless within, plagued by an indelible guilt that permeates their mind, disrupts their rest, and lingers in moments of silence. The catalyst is not your words or actions, but simply your wholeness, your grounded essence, and your freedom. Your peace is the sound of their conscience catching up with them. This is no longer about revenge. This is about contrast. Your light expands as theirs dims. Your growth becomes a gentle rebuke to their machinations. While you build upon truth, they construct lies. Standing next to you, they feel acutely the stifling reality that they sacrifice everything to undermine someone who merely aims for tranquility. Without uttering a word, your existence imparts the lesson. Your stillness serves justice. The purity of your peace radiates in the most elegant form. As their influence swells, they revel in the illusion that their fabricated narratives are unassailable, bolstered by the applause of those who have yet to challenge their storyline. They misinterpret fleeting approval for lasting truth, oblivious to the moment when their closest allies begin to question. The circle of supporters they once fortified through manipulation and gossip gradually begins to see the inconsistencies, recognizing your steadfast integrity and calmness amid their tumult. Meanwhile, their frantic efforts to direct the narrative highlight their unraveling, making their deception increasingly difficult to maintain. The crowd's trust wavers, a shift subtle yet undeniable. Those who once cheered simply become reluctant observers, their faith eroded by the dissonance in the story. Without drama or spectacle, karma works quietly, awakening intuition and skepticism until the very foundation of their support disintegrates. The network they relied upon for strength recedes into distance and silence. This transformation unfolds effortlessly, lacking confrontation or retaliation, as the truth silently reassumes its rightful place, and those who once bolstered deceit retreat into the shadows. Their desire transcends mere infliction of pain. They covet what you have earned, your respect, affection, and influence that naturally gravitate toward you. Fueled by envy, they attempt to imitate, undermine, and hijack the qualities that define your journey. Yet destiny does not permit theft. What belongs to you is inscribed with an unbreakable code, a distinctive signature impossible to replicate or seize. Karma makes this irrefutable. Their greatest torment lies in witnessing your authentic achievements unfold before the very audience they strive to manipulate. You attain accolades and opportunities, not through force or resentment, but through alignment with your true purpose and timing. They discover no escape route, no alternative pathway. They stand as spectators in the very arenas where they once hoped to see you falter. The piercing reality of karma resides in the silent exposure of their intentions. No words are necessary to unveil the truth of your relentless effort, genuine progress, and resilience. Each attempt they make to distort reality only magnifies their role as shadows behind your light. They believed that delaying your ascent would erase it, but karma doesn't erase, it fulfills. Now, their own plots fuel the very momentum that elevates you. Again and again, you are honored in spaces they endeavored to confine, celebrated by the same voices that once conspired against you. Ultimately, they confront an inescapable truth. You were never their adversary, only a mirror reflecting the choices they refuse to make. Confidence in control is their illusion, predicated on the belief that no one will dig deeper, question the particulars, or notice the subtle fractures beneath their narratives. Their image is skillfully crafted from half-truths and polished facades, repeated often enough to appear real. Yet time reveals everything, stripping away pretense without fanfare. The unveiling arrives not with noise or chaos, but in quiet moments so acute that silence speaks louder than any defense ever could. Onlookers begin to sense the slight inconsistencies, the variances in recounts. Fresh perspectives join the overabundance of explanations, noting the bitterness seeping into unrelated dialogues, the discrepancy between words and the energy behind them. Gradually, their carefully maintained mask starts to slip, not through a grand spectacle, but like a mist settling, impossible to ignore. What they underestimate is how discerning people grow, aware of the concealment of words. The timeline falters, the victim act collapses, and projection replaces sincerity, all achieved without a single retort from you. Your calm serves as a calculated shield, a space where truth flourishes and deception suffocates. This form of karma dismantles old dramas without spawning new ones, replacing chaos with clarity and presenting irrefutable evidence that you were never the source of the problem. The most significant blow does not arise from loud accusations, but from the quiet certainty that leaves their credibility shattered, compelling their allies to question everything. You remain steadfast. Karma orchestrates their downfall. When your heart is full of God's love, it's a call to give by supporting God's chosen one, allowing your generosity of $100 or more to become a channel of His grace. Your giving has the power to change lives and reach hearts you may never encounter. You carry a divine purpose, and this act of faith spreads His light onward. Give now, and may His blessings envelop you always. Their limited vision blinds them to the enormity of the conflict they engage. What they see as trivial tiffs, gossip, and feeble alliances built on lies are merely skirmishes on the surface. Meanwhile, you operate on a plane far beyond their comprehension, engaged in a game of strategy and depth. Their tactics resemble fleeting moves on a checkerboard, while you participate in a complex spiritual journey that requires patience, wisdom, and endurance. Karma reveals the score unambiguously, and the tally is not in their favor. Your actions embody purpose, silence, and a foundation built on something profound, far surpassing ego or the desire for popularity. You understand the significance of energy, timing, and legacy, concepts alien to their shallow perspective. They treat your journey as a playground for manipulation, blind to the spiritual realm, where humility and insight are paramount. Instead of preparing for a lasting challenge, they wield short-term tricks that crumble under pressure. You are more than an obstacle. You are a reflection they cannot bear to face, and their failure is inevitable. while you cultivate resilience for a lifelong mission. They pursue hollow victories and transitory praise. True spiritual work transcends mere moments, building unshakable momentum over time. Legacy is not forged through loud proclamations, but by souls aligned in purpose. Karma exposes their inadequacy, not with thunderous blows, but through the gradual unraveling of their schemes and the void left in their wake. The verdict is clear and public. Some build for permanence, while others merely pretend for the spotlight. Rooted in your calling, you remain undeterred by distractions. This steadfastness elevates you, while they scramble to uphold facades. You advance with dignity, carrying a truth that unveils the superficial nature of their weaponry. The divide between your path and theirs is stark. One embodies endurance, the other fades into silence. Make your impact eternal. Join God's chosen one and be a beacon in someone's darkness. The false foundation they've tried to bury you under only fuels your rise, turning their attempts at silencing you into the rich soil where your strength takes root. Each whispered lie, each icy glare from those they influence becomes nourishment for your flourishing. What they believe to be extinguishing your light merely ignites your ascent. Light, yet they nourish the very garden in which you blossom. Their twisted tales age poorly, fracturing over time as you evolve beyond the limitations they impose. Instead of lowering yourself to their level, you allow your life to narrate your truth. Each step you take dismantles their contrived narratives. Your healing reveals their harshness. Your success shines a light on their insecurities, and your unwavering peace and persistence serve as living proof of your resilience, contrasting sharply with their weakness. As your vitality thrives, their bitterness becomes increasingly evident, prompting others to scrutinize the inconsistencies in their claims. This is the gentle work of karma, a silent reversal that requires no drama, only the undeniable clash between truth and falsehood. The dirt they scatter in an attempt to bury you ultimately turns into the fertile ground of your transformation, illuminating the poisonous intentions they sought to hide. There's no need for vengeance. Your growth alone makes their lies impossible to maintain. The belief that you are endlessly caught in a cycle of defending yourself is a misconception born of their own desperation. They envision you trapped in a web of explanations and justifications to an uninterested audience. Yet, you rise above, choosing calm and growth, creating space for karma to operate without interference. The louder they become, the more their unease is revealed through nervous gestures, unsolicited mentions, and futile outbursts on empty platforms. This frantic need to clarify when unprovoked is not a strategy, but a signal of panic as karma relentlessly presses forth, extracting truth from beneath layers of deceit. Silence becomes your most powerful response, an understated strength that stands in stark contrast to their unraveling. As they spiral into chaos, onlookers bear witness to the stark difference. One grounded and composed, the other desperate and disintegrating. Their fruitless attempts to engage in a battle long since decided only highlight who lacked peace from the outset. The period of defending yourself has expired. You have outgrown the arena. Every guilty move they make speaks volumes, louder than any defense you could present. Their anxious energy is rehearsed and exhausting, contrasting with your steady, unperturbed presence, a clear indication for all to see. Karma needs no advocate. It manifests through those struggling to suppress it as they exhaust themselves, trying to control the narrative. You stride forward, with grace, observing their deceptions crumble under the weight of their own desperation. To those who resonate with this journey, you are invited to engage with God's chosen one, sharing your thoughts, experiences, and support as we navigate the path of truth and transformation together. Let your light shine brightly, illuminating the way for others, while you witness the powerful unfolding of karma in your life and the lives of those around you.